Hi, my name is Megan Oliveira. I'm a freshman at Clemson University, but you already knew that. I'm a pre-business major hoping to move into marketing with a minor in management next year. For my new student dialogue, I chose body image. Body image is something that I know all teenagers struggle with. Even people past the teenage years probably have issues with this kind of thing. But I honestly think that body image and self-confidence issues because of body image are a little bit worse in girls than they are guys. There's so much pressure to be perfect in a society that places so much emphasis on the way that our actresses look and the way that they dress, almost to the point where we don't even care what they're actually doing anymore or the quality of their work. We're just looking at how they look and judging them because of that. Oh, Jessica Alba's gained 10 pounds, or Britney Spears is too skinny. That's what we're focused on these days, and how are we supposed to react to that? The media has definitely drawn some attention to how messed up it's all gotten, and that from the left we have books and articles and movies saying, prize who you are, love your body, and don't feel pressure to change who you are by resorting to things like bulimia or anorexia. And then from the right, we make movies out of those books and put actresses like Heidi Klum in. So what's the message we're supposed to be getting from this? Love who you are as long as you look like Heidi Klum? We even have people becoming celebrities that really don't do anything and get their own $1 million TV shows because of the way that they look. Kardashians, anyone? And that's why I chose this dialogue, to talk about these kind of things, to talk about the role the media plays in our body image and the advertisements and magazines that are thrown at us that kind of are confusing, especially during our formative years. I wanted to exchange opinions with other people that are like me, that I know growing up have had difficulty coming to terms with the way that we look. So my name is Megan Oliveira. I'm 18 years old, and like most other people, I have trouble with my body image. And I was really excited to talk about these things. For once, without having to write an essay about it, I could actually get my ideas out and see what other people were like. Get the opinions of guys that, I have no clue what they're thinking. I always think it's so much harder for girls, but maybe it's not, and that was something I was excited to discuss. The problem was, though, when I got to the dialogue, we only spent about 10 minutes out of the 2 hours talking about body image. The rest of the time, we actually spent a lot of time focused on religion, and I know that made a lot of people uncomfortable. Because when you think about it, a lot of people had probably chosen dialogues like body image so that they could avoid more controversial topics like religion. So when you let students choose the topic that they want to talk about, hopefully to get them more interested in what they're talking about, not actually talking about that topic kind of defeats the purpose. And that's where I think the dialogue failed. We were told to fill out sheets, talking about self-confidence and what are the issues that we think about most during the day that really weigh on our mind. And I see kind of what that was getting at, but I don't think it really worked. Like in any classroom, there were people who dominated the conversation. There were people who had a lot to say and the confidence to say it. And then there were those that kind of stayed more quiet. Even if they had something to say, they didn't really say it for fear of being judged. I think the role that I played was definitely the person that when I had something to say and I had the opportunity and I wouldn't be interrupting somebody, I would say it. And as long as I thought about it beforehand and didn't just blurt it out, I really don't care what people think. I kind of got over that a while ago. You don't have to agree with what I'm saying, just respect it enough to hear me out and don't cut me off before I'm finished. That's the way that I look at it. So I was kind of the person that was more moderate, and when there was an awkward silence where nobody really wanted to answer and I could tell the facilitators were getting anxious, I would just say something to try to move the conversation along. I think the point of these dialogues aren't necessarily to get kids to talk about body image or homosexuality or religion, but to bring a bunch of freshmen together that are scared and feel like they're alone and are in this new big place and don't know their way around and don't know any of the people, and to show them you're not alone. There's a whole group of kids right here that feel the exact same way as you. And through talking about things that we all go through, like body image issues, you can really see that there is a support group here. You don't necessarily have to agree with all of the ideas presented in the dialogue, and people don't have to agree with yours either. But you do realize that there's a support base here. Everyone else is going through some of the exact same things that you are, and you're not alone, and there are people that you can reach out to if you need help. I think part of the dialogue was dedicated to a little bit of time talking about what is a dialogue, what is a discussion, what is a debate, what is an argument. That segment, I think that was preparing us for college level classes and discussions and essays and what you're going to be expected to do when composing an argument or talking in a group like this. I know a lot of my classes in high school were set around the idea of a Socratic seminar, but I also know that there are a lot of people that don't have that experience. And so I think that this dialogue might have helped prepare them a little bit for what was to come. The problem was in trying to get people to talk about something that they're interested in, you have to talk about something that they're interested in. And when you let them choose a topic that they want to talk about, but then don't actually talk about it, you kind of defeat the purpose. And like I said before, I think that's where the dialogue failed. And that's definitely where I think it can be improved upon. I understand there were a lot of things that the facilitators were told to do, like fill out the charts and talk about what a discussion and what a debate is and that kind of stuff. But I think more time needs to be allocated to what the students actually signed up to talk about, because that's what brought them in there in the first place. If they don't get to say their opinions on something that they kind of were expecting to, then they don't really know what to say, and I think the entire discussion kind of falls apart. And when the discussion falls apart, they're not really actually preparing them for what they're about to have to do in their classes, in discussions. So those are just my thoughts on the new student dialogues. They're kind of a cool idea that I really think can be improved upon, and if improved upon, can be really, really great. And I think it could be a really awesome way to get to know people with similar interests and kind of build a support base where you don't feel so alone anymore. So my name is Megan Oliveira. I'm 18 years old, a freshman at Clemson University, and I have struggled with body image. But that's okay, because so has everybody else.